Everyone, in today's video we're going to be learning Python. So we start off with making a new file and saving it. Okay, so in this lesson I'm going to cover hello world program, functions, if statements and loops. So we can start off by making the hello world program. It is a basic print function and you just type in hello world. You can now run that and you get hello world here. And that's it. User inputs. Okay, so inputs are basically variable name, for example user, equals input. And that's it. And now we can print user input by just typing in print and then the variable user. Now we can Now we can just type in like whatever we want. Say for example hi, and it will just print hi because it's storing the value in the variable user and we're displaying the variable user. It will then display hi. If statements, we can check whether the user is typing a specific thing. For example, we can type in if user equals hello. That's making the comparison and checking whether user is the same as hello. If it is, then it's going to run this section of the code. We can just type in hi, and then for multiple if statements we don't need to type in else if. We can just type in elif. We can then put a condition. So for example, if user is the same as by, we just print by. And now if, for example, the user is not equal to by or is not equal to hello, and it is not equal to hello, it would go into the else statement. The else statement is basically saying if it doesn't enter, if the first two conditions or the first condition isn't true, then it's going to run this part of the code. And we can just put error. Oopsie. Okay, now if we just run this, we can do hello. It's going to print hi. We can run it again. We can print by, and it's going to print by. Now, if we type in something that it doesn't recognize, for example, hi, it's going to come up with an error. Well, it will print error. And that's the basic if functions. And now we can move on to functions and parameters. Functions is a set of code that can be run over and over again multiple times. It neatens up your work and honestly does make it easier to read. So how we define function is just def, which means define, and then we can type in a variable name, for example hi, and that will be my function. Function hi can do something. It will print hi, for example. We just type in hi and then execute. See, nothing's happening. What we need to do now to make something happen is actually reference hi, and we do that by doing hi, just that, with two brackets around it, and it will just run through this code. We can then extend this program to have parameters. Parameters reference a variable that's not actually in the function but is needed in the function. For example, we wanted a variable to print out variable, and then we can do var, print var. Now in this we need to state what variable we're referring to, and we can get an input, for example, user equals input, and now, oh wait, that's not going to work. We just type user in to the parameters, and then just do that. And now if we execute this, it's going to get a input. We can type in hi, and it's just going to repeat it because it's going to say, I'm calling hi, so I need to go to this thread, run this code, printing the variable that's referenced. So in this, we're referencing user, the variable user. One more thing about functions is that they can also return something. For example, if we wanted to say hello equals, we can just do that. And we can do return 0. It can return anything. And now we can just do print, print, and just put hello. Now it's going to return hello, and it's going to be stored in this variable. And that's it. It's just going to print hello. Now if we execute that, well, no, it's not going to print hello, it's going to print 0. Because we're storing 0 in hello. And therefore, if we're printing hello, it's going to print 0. Okay, so now we just need to do a user input. So we can do hi. It's going to print hi, as it's doing here. And then it's going to go to print hello. And hello is got the value of 0 because we're returning 0 from this parameter, from this function. Okay, there's another kind of, we can do while loops. The while loop has the same syntax as a if statement, and what we can do is do while x is the same as 0, for example, and we can just set x equals 0, and then we can do x equals x plus 1, print x, and we can actually, this will repeat once because x will be 0 once through the loop, and then it's going to increase to 1. But we can do is less than 6. It's going to repeat 5 times. Now we just execute, and there we go. We get 1, 2, 6. And that's it. Now, this is the basics of Python. And that's all I'm going to be doing for this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and hit the thumbs up button.